In every corner of society, there are individuals who seem to exude charm, confidence, and an almost magnetic presence. At first glance, they can seem almost too good to be true, always knowing exactly what to say, always appearing to be just what you need at any given moment. But beneath the surface, something darker lurks, something dangerous. Narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths, while they may seem worlds apart in the labels society gives them, share a core set of traits that make them incredibly dangerous. A lack of empathy, manipulativeness, and a profound self-centeredness. These traits don't just make them difficult to deal with, they make them potentially lethal. Emotionally, psychologically, and in some cases, physically. Take narcissists, for example. At first, they may appear as the ideal person. Charming, attentive, and overly generous with praise. It's easy to be drawn in. They make you feel special, like you're the most important person in their world. But this is only the beginning of a deeper and far more insidious pattern. Narcissists feed on admiration and validation, constantly needing it to prop up their fragile self-esteem. They have an inflated sense of self-importance, and in their world, everyone exists to serve their needs. This constant need for adoration can lead them to manipulate, exploit, and emotionally abuse those around them, all to maintain the illusion that they are superior to everyone else. In relationships, narcissists are often masters of what's called love bombing. They overwhelm their target with excessive affection, making them feel as though they've found a soulmate, a perfect match. But once they've secured your emotional dependence, things shift. The compliments stop and the criticisms begin. Subtle at first, but over time, these small digs wear away at your self-worth. You begin to doubt yourself, wondering where the person you once knew has gone. Narcissists don't just break hearts, they systematically dismantle the confidence and sense of self of those around them. And when they grow bored or no longer need you, they discard you without a second thought, often leaving you emotionally shattered and unsure of who you really are. But the damage doesn't stop there. Narcissists are not above financial manipulation either. Many have been known to commit white-collar crimes, such as corporate fraud or embezzlement, all in an effort to preserve the grandiose image they've built. They don't just manipulate people emotionally, they manipulate systems, twisting them for personal gain, all while convinced they are above the law. Then there are sociopaths, individuals whose disregard for the rights of others goes beyond emotional manipulation and into reckless, often dangerous behavior. Sociopaths thrive on chaos, and they are impulsive, often acting without regard for the consequences. If a narcissist's power is emotional control, a sociopath's weapon is often violence. They are known for their volatility, prone to outbursts of anger and aggression, especially when they feel slighted or threatened. And their capacity for manipulation, it rivals that of any narcissist. Sociopaths are charming and convincing, able to lie, charm and deceive to get exactly what they want. But unlike narcissists, sociopaths have a complete disregard for social norms and laws. They're impulsive, reckless, and often engage in behaviors that put them at odds with society, stealing, assaulting, or worse. And they do it without a shred of remorse. Their capacity for violence is what makes them truly dangerous. It's not just that they can lie and cheat, it's that when they feel cornered or provoked, they can lash out in ways that leave others physically and emotionally harmed. From robbery to physical assaults to even murder, sociopaths can be a significant threat to those around them. Yet their charm can often keep people from seeing their true nature until it's too late. Psychopaths, however, are perhaps the most chilling of all. With a complete absence of empathy, a psychopathic individual can appear as the picture of normalcy, smooth, confident and charismatic. But where a sociopath may be reckless and impulsive, a psychopath is calculating, methodical and cold. Psychopaths often prey on the vulnerable, using their charm to draw people in, only to exploit them emotionally, financially, or sometimes even physically. To them, people are tools, nothing more. They have no qualms about using or discarding others when they've gotten what they need. This lack of empathy makes psychopaths particularly dangerous in relationships, both personal and professional. They can weave an elaborate web of deceit, all while living a double life, seemingly successful and well-adjusted on the outside, but underneath, they are often engaged in illegal activities or emotionally destructive behavior. They might present themselves as a caring partner, a generous friend, or a dedicated worker, but these are all just facades designed to manipulate and control. Their ability to lie without remorse, to hurt others without any emotional response, is what makes them capable of committing heinous acts. When we think of extreme criminal behavior, serial murder, organized crime, and high-profile frauds, many of the individuals involved are psychopaths. The absence of guilt or remorse allows them to commit the most horrifying crimes without a second thought. They don't just break the law, they break the very idea of moral boundaries, with no emotional barrier to stop them from inflicting harm. And yet the one thing that unites all these individuals, the narcissist, the sociopath, and the psychopath, is their utter lack of empathy. They all exist in a world where their needs and desires are paramount, and everyone else is secondary, expendable even. They manipulate, they deceive, and they control, all without a single moment of regret. In their minds, people are simply objects to be used for their benefit. As dangerous as their emotional manipulation is, they also pose a risk in terms of physical harm. While not all narcissists, sociopaths, or psychopaths engage in violent crime, those with more extreme tendencies are often willing to resort to physical violence to maintain control. They have no hesitation in using force, whether it's in the form of emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or outright physical assault. The hallmark of these personalities is their ability to maintain control over others through manipulation, lies, and calculated deceit. In fact, they often have what's known as flying monkeys at their disposal, people they manipulate into doing their bidding. These flying monkeys may unknowingly spread lies, gather information, or apply pressure to the victim, further isolating them and making it even harder for them to escape. It's a web of manipulation that can feel nearly impossible to break. While not all individuals with narcissistic, sociopathic, or psychopathic tendencies will engage in criminal behavior, the risk they pose is real. They are adept at identifying vulnerable people, drawing them in and slowly, insidiously, stripping them of their autonomy. The manipulation is often subtle at first, but it grows over time, leaving the victim feeling confused, powerless, and emotionally drained. Whether it's through emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or even physical violence, these individuals leave a trail of damage in their wake. But recognizing the signs, understanding how these individuals operate, is the first step in protecting yourself. It's not easy, and it's often not immediately obvious, but knowing the tactics they use can help you identify the warning signs and shield yourself from their grasp. These predators are skilled at making you believe they're everything you've ever wanted, but once they have you, they will slowly, deliberately break you down. Awareness is the first step in breaking the cycle, in reclaiming your power, and in freeing yourself from their toxic grasp. As believers, it is imperative that we discern the gravity of the times in which we live and the unprecedented challenges they present. The world is rapidly shifting in ways that demand not only spiritual vigilance, but also a deep understanding of the forces at work. We are stepping into a world unlike any we have ever known, an era where those lacking the necessary resources, wisdom, and spiritual fortitude will be left exposed to great peril. This is not merely a struggle for physical survival, but for the preservation of our very souls. The enemy is tireless in his efforts, relentlessly seeking to strip God's people of the blessings and inheritance that are rightfully theirs. Through deception, manipulation, and the full force of spiritual warfare, Satan will stop at nothing to undermine what God has promised his faithful. In this regard, it is essential for believers to arm themselves with the requisite knowledge, discernment, and spiritual fortitude to protect what has been entrusted to them. The stakes are higher than ever, and the ability to navigate this perilous terrain requires a deep understanding of the adversaries we face. In Module 4, we will address a critical and often overlooked question. Can narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths truly change? Unraveling the complexities of these predatory personalities and learning how to recognize and neutralize their manipulative strategies is not just necessary, it is vital for those who seek to preserve their spiritual and material inheritance. This is not merely a defensive posture, but a proactive stance to ensure we stand firm in the face of pervasive deception. The hour of preparation is upon us, for the world we are entering demands more than mere survival. It calls for sagacity, discernment, and an unwavering faith to withstand the trials ahead.